Welcome to Kaywon Action Star. I'm glad to have you back here. Thank you for supporting me by watching, commenting and liking my videos, it means a lot to me. So let's get into today's recap story. The story begins inside a men's prison where inmates are exercising in the yard. Suddenly, an alarm blares, signaling that all prisoners must return to their cells. Among them is an inmate who blackmails Sam, a prison guard, into smuggling contraband. The inmate threatens to expose something incriminating about Sam if he refuses to comply, warning that if he doesn't cooperate, he'll end up in the same prison under his control. Fearful of the consequences, Sam becomes uneasy. Later, Sam is seen with a cut on his face, and he visits the prison doctor for stitches. When other guards, including Tim, ask what happened, Sam fabricates a story. He claims that an inmate had been giving him trouble for a while. According to him, when he instructed the inmate to return to his cell, the inmate refused, leading to a confrontation. Sam says he was headbutted in the scuffle, forcing him to defend himself with a nightstick. The other guards analyzed the situation, noting that Sam's first mistake was letting the inmate get too close instead of calling for backup. To keep him safe from further inmate retaliation, they decide to move him to the tower. A few days later, Sam is stationed on the prison's rooftop when he notices suspicious activity in the yard. Using a telescope, he zooms in just as a violent fight erupts among the inmates. Reacting quickly, he triggers the emergency alarm, prompting guards to rush in with tear gas and weapons drawn. The prison yard descends into chaos as the guards attempt to control the situation. Tear gas is fired, hitting several inmates, but the fight continues. As a last resort, the guards fire warning shots, forcing most inmates to surrender by lying on the ground. However, two inmates suddenly attack another prisoner, escalating the situation further. Fully equipped riot guards storm the yard, subduing and restraining the inmates one by one. Meanwhile, still on the roof, Sam begins to realize the gravity of his mistake. Warden Mills, along with guards Ed, Simmons, and Tim, reviews the incident. Mills is furious and demands to know why Sam was on the tower in the first place. After discussing possible reassignment options, including moving him to reception, discharge, or perimeter patrol, Mills makes a shocking decision: Sam is to be transferred to the women's prison. Despite concerns from Tim and Ed, Warden Mills stands firm. He believes the men's prison is too dangerous for Sam now, and that sending him to the women's facility is the safest option. However, this decision raises new concerns. The guards joke that the female inmates will be all over him, potentially leading to even more complications. They also question whether Sam can be trusted to handle the situation, suggesting that if he proves incapable, he should consider a different career path. Soon after, Sam arrives at the women's prison, where he immediately notices the stark contrast. As he steps aside to let the female inmates pass, many of them make suggestive gestures toward him. One inmate, Cherry, takes a particular interest in him, and as she enters the classroom, the prison instructor, Miriam Lasky, notices her flirtatious interaction with Sam. Lasky questions why Sam was sent to the women's prison, and upon learning it was for his protection, she warns him that the female inmates are just as manipulative as the men. During a lesson on human evolution, Cherry uses a mirror to discreetly watch Sam, who stands at the back of the classroom. Later, in the break room, the guards discuss the key differences between working in a men's maximum security prison and a women's facility. Sam jokes that his first day felt like a vacation compared to his previous assignment, describing the men's prison as a jungle. However, the more experienced guards caution him, saying the real challenge will begin at bedtime. They warn that the inmates will use every tactic to gain sympathy, from fake sob stories to complaining about guards watching them change clothes. They also hint at the dangers of male guards forming relationships with female inmates, emphasizing that such situations have led to serious consequences in the past. That night, during cell inspections, Sam and the guards discover an inmate with a confiscated phone. When they reach Cherry's cell, she pretends to be casually reading a magazine. Checking in on her, Sam asks if she's all right, to which she responds positively and requests her cell be locked again. The following day, as inmates walk past Sam near the classroom, one of them deliberately pushes Cherry into him. Taking the opportunity, she grabs his jacket and whispers, "I'll see you tonight." A female guard, noticing the interaction, warns Sam to stay focused. She tells him that if he isn't careful, the inmates will manipulate him, playing on his emotions and making him an easy target. That night, as Sam makes his rounds instructing inmates to turn off their lights, he approaches Cherry's cell. To his shock, she has exposed herself. He freezes, overwhelmed by conflicting emotions, while Cherry watches his reaction closely. What he doesn't realize is that the entire scene is being recorded by the prison security cameras. The next day, in the control room, Cherry begins acting strangely. As Sam gets closer, she suddenly clutches her side, pretending to be in severe pain and requesting medical attention. Concerned, Sam allows her to be taken to the infirmary on a stretcher. However, on the way, Cherry pulls Sam under a secluded stairwell, a spot without camera coverage. It becomes clear that inmates frequently use this area for secret encounters. Sam initially tries to resist, but ultimately gives in to the moment. What happens next is shocking. Cherry suddenly turns violent, stabbing Sam multiple times in the neck. She then crawls out of the stairwell, screaming for help, making it appear as though she was attacked and acted in self-defense. Her cries attract attention, and soon, prison staff rush to the scene. Sam, fatally wounded, is left helpless. Investigators later examine the evidence, questioning Cherry's version of events. The forensic report reveals inconsistencies. There are no signs of struggle on her body, no defensive wounds, and no signs of sexual assault. However, with Sam dead and unable to defend himself, the narrative is twisted to paint him as the aggressor. The discussion among prison officials becomes heated. One officer questions whether Cherry's accusations violate her Miranda rights, only to be reminded that inmates in prison don't have the same legal protections in these cases. They acknowledge that Sam was inexperienced, making him an easy target. His lack of knowledge about the manipulative tactics of inmates cost him his life. As the investigation unfolds, it is discovered that Sam's uncle was murdered at almost the exact same time, raising even more questions about what really happened. Despite the questionable nature of Cherry's claims, she is granted the benefit of the doubt. One investigator notes that the prison system rarely shows compassion, but another remarks that compassion is exactly why he was assigned to the case, to ensure fairness in a system that often lacks it. In the end, Sam's tragic fate serves as a stark reminder of the dangers of working in a prison, being loose and not following rules and policies strictly. Because, the prison is where trust is a rare commodity and a mere manipulation can become dangerous and have deadly consequences. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to this channel if you haven't done that, and put down your comments below to let me know what you think about Sam, the prison guard. Also give my video a thumbs up to motivate me. And share too for others to enjoy. See you on our next recap. Cheers.